Hey guys, I'm Rose.
And I'm Alex.
And this is Project
LSJ Fiero.
So we're going to be putting a 2.0 Ecotec turbocharged engine inside of this 88 Fiero T-top. It's going to be super cool.
Oh yeah. This car is really a find in itself. This car has been sitting in the bushes for over 10 years. It was covered in blackberry bushes, had to be cut out, and it is in poor condition.
That's an understatement.
The poor condition is an understatement. I've worked on and owned over 10 Fieros over the last 15 years, and this is definitely in the low 5, including parts cars, of condition. But we're gonna bring it back. This car is extremely rare. T-tops were only made out of 1,200 of the 400,000 Fieros ever built. This is number 402 of 1,252. It was built in March of 1988 and is one of the very few to have the CJB option. CJB means it's a factory authorized T-top, and that's the one of 1,200 that I've been talking about. Unfortunately, the interior has been leaking, the engine is seized, the car has been in an accident in the rear half, and it's been rusting in blackberry bushes for 10 years. Overall, the good is a short list. The short list would be that the overall frame is pretty much rust free, and that the suspension is all straight. The T-tops are in fair condition. They will reseal, and none of the T-top components are bent in themselves. However, we'll go over everything else. Come this way.
Go.
This took a long time to get these compartments open, and this thing is a mess. Every latch corroded shut. Everything has been damaged by water. The spring hooks here are snapped off, so the deck lid is going all the way up. But really, the worst of it is the minor, not so minor frame damage from this accident. All right, pull back, Rose. At some point, the car was hit in the taillight, and that taillight hit the top of the upper frame rail and pushed slightly, creating this crack right here. There's also massive damage in the trunk area right here. So you can see the ripples coming forward. And that isn't the worst of it. As this pushed along, it pushed this clip forward into the door, and then that pushed the T-top roof up. When you measure this car, it's a 1/4 inch shorter from wheel to wheel, and this is 5/8 of an inch too high here. So we're gonna have to strip the panels off, and then we're gonna have to stretch this door gap and this frame back out. But I think we can do it. And that's all before the LSJ turbo swap. Now over in my friend's garage, I've got a 2.0 LSJ motor out of a 2005 Ion Redline that has been rolled. We'll probably show you a picture of that. Anyway, the motor is out, has an LSD transmission that is connected to it, and we are going to Frankenstein that wiring harness and all that engine into this car. This car originally came with a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder motor, and that 2.5 liter 4-cylinder put out a massive 93 horsepower. That's not going to be enough for what we have planned. We will start off with the stock supercharged version that is coming out of the Ion Redline, and that'll immediately put out about 215 wheel horsepower on average. And then we're going to put in a turbo on that, and we're going to push the 400 horsepower barrier on pump gas. This car has almost no options. We'll go over here. Fieros came in a lot of trim levels, and all the trim levels are illustrated in this RPO code list right here. Now, the RPO code list will tell the factory workers what options to put in the vehicle. This list can be all the way to the bottom of this sheet, or in this case, can be covering less than 1/3 of it. We got the important options, and that's you here, CJB. That's for the T-tops. But everything else, some customer felt like they didn't want to pay for it, which is actually good for us. This car has no AC, no power windows, no power mirrors, and it also has no rear trunk release. I mean, the only options we were selected for this car were appearance and T-tops. So spoiler, T-tops. And then the rest of it, the guy was like, I'm not paying for that. Definitely not. So in that case, we have one of the lightest Fieros ever built. Options add weight, and we are gonna make this thing go fast. That's the plan.
Alright guys, so that was the intro video to Project LSJ Fiero. Stick around, see what happens. It's gonna be very interesting how we decide to handle this situation.
Peace.